Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is January 15, 2023. We are in the Old Testament and we are in the book of Genesis, and we're going to read chapter 15 today. All right, so where are we at? We are reading the story of Abram. He is separated from Lot. They went their separate ways. Lot went towards Sodom and Gomorrah. God took Abram up on top of a mountain and showed him the whole promised land and said, "This is yours. This is going to be for your descendants." And Abram said, "Yeah, thank you. That's cool. That's awesome." Made a sacrifice to God. Then he got word that Lot had been taken prisoner, so he went out and he rescued Lot. And as he came back from that mission, he met two people: Melchizedek, the high priest of God, and he met the king of Sodom. King of Sodom wanted to reward him and give him all kinds of stuff, and he said, "You know what? I don't want nothing of yours." He met Melchizedek. Melchizedek gave him a blessing, and Abram tithe, gave 1/10 of everything that he had to Melchizedek. So we see that he is worshiping God. He's obedient to God. Faith was a little bit suspect, and we get to see the reason why in this little section that we're reading. God sets out for Abram and says, "Okay, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to bless you," which Abram knew that's because he was being blessed, "and I'm going to bless all of your descendants." And Abraham finally says, "You know what, God, you keep telling me that. I don't have any descendants. I mean, that's nice what you're going to do, but why don't you go tell my cousin over there, because that's the only one who's going to inherit everything I have." And God tells him, "No, your descendant. You are going to have a descendant." And Abram finally understands that God has promised, giving him a promise, and to reiterate that's a promise, and to show Abram that God means what he means. He gives him a vision, and it's a vision where he cuts animals in half, and they set the halves down, and he sees a flaming fire pot walking through the halves of the animal. And it seems kind of weird to us, but back then, that's how two people formed a treaty with each other, formed a covenant with each other. They would divide the animals. They would walk through between the animals, with the idea of, hey, if you step out of line, you're going to end up like one of these animals. So that was a really powerful, significant thing. That's why Abraham gets in and realizes, "Oh, you're going to do something for me. I still don't know how you're going to do it. I'm still not sure how that works, but now I'm starting to believe. Now I'm starting to have faith that this promise that I'm going to have descendants that I couldn't see before is going to come true." So let's go ahead and we're going to read Genesis chapter 15. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward." But Abram said, "Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and the heir of my house is Eleazar of Damascus?" Then Abram said, "Look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, no one born in my house is my heir." And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, "This one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir." Then he brought him outside and said, "Look now toward heaven and count the stars if you are able to number them." And he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." And he believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. Then he said to him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land to inherit it." And he said, "Lord God, how shall I know that I will inherit it?" So he said to him, "Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." Then he brought all these to him and cut them in two down the middle, and placed each piece opposite the other. But he did not cut the birds in two. And when the vultures came down on the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. Now when the sun was going down, deep sleep fell upon Abram, and behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Then he said to Abram, "Know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possessions. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried at a good old age. But in the 4th generation they will return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete." And it came to pass, when the sun went down and it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. On the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, "To your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river of the river Euphrates. The Kenites, the Kenzites, the Kedmonites, the Hittites, the Pizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. May God bless the reading of His Word. May God bless you. Bye.